Welcome to making a Jubilee Lapbook. To start with, we're going to look at finding resources. We are using the Queen Lapbook Creation Pack, which has got some brilliant things inside to help you make your lapbook. So there's a petal book on communicating with the Queen, portraits of the Queen. We've also got all about the states and a spinner about the coronation, as well as some colouring pages. So I've printed those out. If you want to print these 2 per page, when you press print, press more settings and then see where it says pages per sheet. I'm going to print off 4 pages per sheet here. There is also a lifetime timeline of Queen Elizabeth, which is another brilliant one to print out. And I'm going to print this slightly smaller, so this time I'm changing it to 2 pages per sheet for this resource, and then press print. Don't forget to check out the other resources on the Twinkl website, because there's some brilliant one for the Queen's Jubilee, including this crown where you can stick the jewels on. Once you've printed everything out, you can then get ready to make your lapbook. So we've got all of our resources printed out ready. You can make a lapbook, however, at any point during a project. You want to start with your A4 wallet and cut the edges off. And then we're going to go through cutting out everything. The timeline is very easy to put together by sticking all of the strips once you've cut them out together and then concertining, folding it to make this beautiful book. You can then also cut out the labels to go on the timeline too. We then printed out some other resources like the portraits of the Queen and our colouring book. We're going to staple our colouring book together so that we can do that while we're doing our topic. This is another lovely activity that I'm going to start by putting together, but I'm going to leave some blank spaces under the folds and some bits for us to stick in while we're working on our lapbook. This spinner is another brilliant resource in the lapbook pack. I'm going to use the cutout as a template for my spinner, so then I can have the Queen on the front, and then I'm going to add an extra title to it, and then I'm going to put the information inside my spinner for us to discover while we're making our lapbook. Again, you might like to get your child to do this. It is entirely up to you, but it's so fun and versatile. Another fun resource is this communicating with the Queen petal book, because it folds out lots of different information. So you can stick the information on both sides of the flaps. Just make sure to leave one blank for your front cover. We're going to decorate this later and maybe add some extra information on some of the blank pages we've got left. I've also printed off a PowerPoint all about the Queen's Jubilee, which we are turning into another little notebook to keep in our lapbook. So we've stapled that together so we can see all of the pages as we build it. I've also printed off a writing activity, so I'm going to put that in the lapbook, as well as the activity all about states headed by the Queen. This is a lovely activity. You can simply fold the corners of the pockets and glue those down, and then glue the titles either on the top or on the labels on the bottom, so you know which countries go in which pockets. And you can then do this as an activity. You can also decide how you want to fold this up, because you can use different folds for booklets. So you can turn in both sides and then do a front cover on the front. However, I'm going to do a different one. I'm going to do a concertina fold so that I can put our map on one side of our book. So it's really fun using up the different spaces in your lapbook as well. So we're going to stick our map on there. Once you've cut everything out or done all your activities at home, it's time to put your lapbook together. Again, you can do this at any point in your project. Now, it does suggest to see if you can make a flag go up and down, so we're going to have a go at that. To add a flag, put 2 split pins on either corner of your lapbook. We're going to put our flag on our front. We've then sellotaped our flag onto some thread, so that's securely tied onto our thread. Then all we have to do is tie either end of the thread around the split pins, making sure it can still move freely, and then tying the 2 ends of the thread together so you make a loop around your 2 split pins. This then means when you pull the thread on where your knot is, it can move the flag up and down. Once we've got that ready, we're just going to start to lay out everything we have made. So you might have already made things, or you might not have made bits yet, but we're just going to put it all out in our lapbook to work out how we can put our lapbook together. So now, once we've done that, we can stick everything down where we think it's going to reach. Again, some of these things we might have done before, some of the things we might add until later is entirely up to you. So this is one I'm going to start off with, then we're going to do it later. Now, we also want a front cover for our lapbook, so I found this brilliant poster on Twinkl. So I'm going to print that 4 pages per sheet, so it's a bit smaller to go on our front cover, and then I'm going to stick that on the front of our lapbook, as our lapbook is all about the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. You might want to print out one of the beautiful colouring sheets we've got, or make your own title, but don't forget to put a nice fun front cover on your lapbook as well. So we're just going to put that on the front to finish it off, and then we've glued everything in. So let's have a look through our completed lapbook. So start with, we're raising the flag because the Queen must be at home. So there she is on the front. We have got our colouring book. So we've stapled that together with our colouring sheets. We've also got a PowerPoint full of information all about the Queen's Jubilee. So we can read that together and maybe pick out some keywords to write on the blank pages next to it. We've got a spinner all about the coronation. So we've sellotaped that down so it spins nice and easily. We've also got our writing frame. So we're going to work on that together. So this is lots of things again that we're going to do at the start. So I've made it at the start, but you might like to put this together at the end or think about how you can do it. We've also got the information all about the Queen's residences. So we're going to stick some bits in, write some bits in, and draw arrows to where they're going to go. Then we've got our countries where the Queen is head of state or has been head of state. So we've got our map, and then we've got all the countries there so we can do some sorting of those and look at where they are on the map. We've also got our petal book, which I love how this folds up. And then we've also got all our timeline of events, so we can get our timeline out and go through our timeline. You might not want to stick your timeline in the back. You might want to have it as a pocket. It's so up to you how you use these features. We've also got our crown. Now, I've roughly cut out the shapes of that because my son loves cutting, so we're going to practice that. And then we've got our pictures, so we're going to do some fun with that as well. And that is our beautiful lapbook. But don't forget about the back as well, because we've got this brilliant Union Jack. So we're going to make an amazing collage to go on the back as well using these Twinkl sheets. And we hope you have fun making a lapbook too. Don't forget to share what you get up to in our Facebook group.